Hey, hello there, everybody. It is Jimmie Maverick, and we are going to be doing a mock draft today. It is Friday, the 23rd of August. Week 3 of the preseason is just getting started. We had some games last night, and this is a big weekend for drafting. So we're going to do a mock draft today. Yahoo half-point PPR, 12-team, picking from the 4th position. I figured the 4th position would be very interesting right now because it is a very debatable place on who are you going to pick, because there is a lot of risk out there associated with some of these players, most notably Ezekiel Elliott, who would normally be my first choice. I still might take him here just because of the upside. We can always grab Tony Pollard late. He's an easy pickup late in the draft, but we are going to use my app, My Perfect Fantasy Draft, to help us find players. You can access my app exclusively through my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com, and we're going to do a quick setup on that right now. So let me just log in here. Okay. So you just have to answer 3 questions to get this app going, and then you can further customize it later once you're in it. But the first thing you have to answer is, how does your league score points? This is going to be a half-point PPR. Do you want to engage Jimmie's recommended player filters? We're going to go ahead. We're going to say yes. And then, do you want to enter draft mode? So this breaks down the list based on the size of your league and your draft position. So yes, we're going to do a 12-team, and just give it a second here. Okay, so what you can see is the player list right here. You got position filters up here. So if you want to just look at quarterbacks or running backs or wide receivers, you just use that. These are the draft mode tabs. So basically, this is every round of the draft. We just click on the first round. And we've got recommendations, which I'm going to minimize so we just see the names. And you can see that for the first round pick, it's recommending Davante Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, and Ezekiel Elliott. Nice group of players. And it is recommending Zeke Elliott over other running backs like David Johnson, Todd Gurley, James Conner, and that's not surprising. And I'm thinking that this whole Ezekiel Elliott situation is going to be resolved. Oh, look at that. It's my turn. Oh, geez. Oh, look, Christian McCaffrey still on the board. Did I do it in time? Someone did take Ezekiel Elliott before me. That's fine. I grabbed Christian McCaffrey, who actually is the top-rated player. He's at the very top of the list. This little gun means that he's a long shot. He was a long shot to get to us. So lucky us. We ended up with a nice play. And we can just go on to the second round, and we'll have a little bit of time here because there's a long gap till our next pick. So in the second round, you can see that the app is recommending Mike Evans, George Kittle, and Marlon Mack. So we got 3 nice choices on 3 different positions. I do always like to balance my team by going with an elite wide receiver in the second round. If we filter for just wide receivers, we can see that Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Adam Thielen are the 3 recommended players. Tyreek Hill is a long shot, though. So if he makes it to us, I would definitely take him. But if not, Mike Evans is a fine choice. He's going to be great this year. I'm really excited about the Buccaneers offense. I think they're going to be very, very effective, especially through the air. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get these 3 guys queued up. Let's also queue up Kittle and Mack. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video till it gets back to our pick, and we'll see who's available, and we'll see who we get. Okay, so it's almost back to us, and you can see my queue up here. I got Evans, Thielen, Mack, and Kittle all queued up. It looks like Tyreek was just taken, so unfortunately he is off the table, but he was a long shot anyway, so we knew that it was less than a 50-50 chance he would even make it to us. Look at that. Kittle just came off the board super early. I think Yahoo must have just moved him up in the rankings. That's interesting. But our first choice, Mike Evans, is still on the board, and we still have a very good chance to get him as long as Brandit doesn't take him. So don't take him, Brandit. There we go. Good. So perfect. Let's go ahead and take Mike Evans. He is a fantastic choice at this point in the draft. And now let's go to the third pick, because this is going to be a quick turnaround here. Third pick, it is recommending T.Y. Hilton, Zach Ertz, or Leonard Fournette. Now, I like the idea of going back to running back on this round. Fournette is the top-ranked player. Now, you might be a little nervous about him for his low reliability, and that is certainly understandable. Mack is a long shot on this round. Melvin Gordon is someone who I'm not interested in just because of the whole situation, but there's also a couple rookies worth considering. Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery. So I'm going to queue up all 3 of the running backs. We'll pick one, and they're all very good. Montgomery's getting so much buzz right now. I think I might just have to take him just because I want to see what he can do in the regular season. So let me just go ahead and get these guys queued up. So there's Fournette, there's Jacobs, there's Montgomery. And by the way, even though you see them down the list, see how far down the list they are? Oh, these guys, they could probably wait till the next round, right? No, they're totally going to be gone by the next round. That's just the way drafts are going right now. You can see that Adam Thielen did make it back to us. This is one of the reasons why I like to use the queue, because you can see if a player falls from a prior round. Again, not interested in him, but let's go ahead. Let's take a chance on Montgomery as our second running back. I'm very comfortable with taking him. I think the Bears are going to be very good, and of course, he vacated the position that Jordan Howard had last year. I think he's a better version of Jordan Howard who can also catch passes, so he should be very effective. Now let's jump to the fourth round here and look at who the app is recommending. So the app is recommending Chris Carson. Love that. If he makes it back to us, that'd be awesome. Allen Robinson and Mike Williams, a couple of wide receivers. So we do have some good options there. Let's see what other running backs are available besides Chris Carson. Josh Jacobs is a long shot. We already got him on the queue. Sony Michel is someone who I'm not really interested in at all, just because of the whole situation with New England running backs and the fact that that backfield is super crowded right now. The only New England running back I'm really interested in is Damian Harris. But let's definitely put Chris Carson on the queue. We'll put Robinson and Williams on the queue as well. Look at this. Brandin Cooks is a long shot. If he comes around, he would be definitely worth considering at this point. Ridley and Galladay, not super interested in those guys. And Lockett, I don't like Lockett because I just don't think he's going to get enough volume. But let's go ahead and we'll queue all those guys up. I'll just pause the video. We'll come back when it's our pick. All right, so we're back. And unfortunately, Chris Carson did get taken. So that is a shame. There's really no other good choices at running back for this round, but we'll get a running back on the next round. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a great wide receiver. And look at this, a long shot. Brandin Cooks, that was not expected to be available on this round. Fantastic choice. I love this. This is a steal. He is basically Brandin Cooks' value rank of 36. We're at pick number 45. So that is a tremendous amount of value from taking him. Now it's going to be a quick turnaround here. So let's go to the fifth round. You can see that it's recommending Tyler Boyd, Robbie Anderson, Phillip Lindsay. So running backs, Phillip Lindsay. I love the idea of going with Lindsay at this point. He is a fair value player. You also see players like James White, Tevin Coleman, Sony Michel, Longshot, Miles Sanders. Not really interested in any of those guys because they either offer poor value or, again, New England running back, the kiss of death. So let's put Lindsay on the queue. Let's put Boyd and Anderson on the queue because if they made it back to us, that'd be great. So let's look here. So for running backs, Lindsay, are you still on the board? There he is. Okay. And then for wide receivers, we were looking at Boyd and Anderson. So let's see here. There's Anderson. There's Boyd. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so great. We got some really nice choices here. And as just a general comparison, I do like Tyler Boyd and Robbie Anderson much more than I like Allen Robinson or Mike Williams. So that's just my personal preference. So even though those guys have made it from prior round, if we look at values, Robbie Anderson, value rank 45, Tyler Boyd, value rank 41. But if we look at Allen Robinson, value rank of 67, Mike Williams, value rank of 68, those guys are not good values, even though we're at pick number 52. So they're overvalued and they're going just too early in the draft. That's basically what that means. So again, not really interested in them. But Phillip Lindsay is going to be the top choice. The only way I'm not going to take Lindsay is if he is taken, and then we'll go with either Anderson or Boyd. Probably Anderson as our third wide receiver. So hopefully this won't take too long here, although this guy Elijah is certainly taking his full 30 seconds. And all right. So anyway, there we go. That was quick. So Lindsay did make it to us. Happy days. So he is going to be our third running back. So that's a great, I think that's a great slot to put him in. I think that's a fair value pick. And let's go to the sixth round. And in the 6th round, not a lot of great options at running back. Tariq Cohen, Latavius Murray. This is why you got to go early on running backs. Look at the value rank of these guys. Cohen, value rank 123. Murray, value rank 149. We're at pick 69 here. These guys are terrible. You're never going to be able to start these guys unless someone gets injured, which means Alvin Kamara or David Montgomery gets injured. That's the only way these guys are going to become even flex value. So, again, that's why you got to go early on the running backs. But we do have options at wide receiver. So wide receiver, you can see Jarvis Landry is a long shot. I like that. Alshon Jeffrey, a player who is a good value at this point as well. Look at his value rank, 43. We're at pick 69. So that's nearly 2 rounds of value. That's really fantastic. Christian Kirk is also on this round, but he's a little bit overvalued, not really too big on him. Let's definitely queue up Landry and Jeffrey. And Jared Cook, if we wanted to go tight end, he's not a terrible choice. He's a bad value, but most tight ends are very poor values. So you just have to go with that. It certainly is an outstanding offense, and he could be effective there. So those are all worth looking at. So let's go ahead and we will queue up those players. I'll just pause the video. We'll come right back when it's our pick. Okay, so it made it back to us. Robbie Anderson's still on the board, but Jared Cook is there. I like the idea of taking Jared Cook here in the 6th round as our tight end. So let's go ahead and take him, although Robbie Anderson, very good. That's a steal, man, at this point in the draft. We'll see if he makes it to the next round. I bet he doesn't. But let's move on to round 7. So in round 7, recommending Austin Ekeler, Royce Freeman, Vance McDonald. So, these guys are all good choices, but Ekeler is the guy I've been targeting in just about every draft. Round 7 is the round to get him. So hopefully we will be lucky here, and Ekeler is still on the board. He obviously offers fantastic upside with the Gordon holdout. I am guessing that Ekeler's going to hold out for a full 10 games because he only has to play 6 to clear out his contract and become a free agent on next season. So 10 full weeks of Ekeler as a RB2 is fantastic value. You got to go for that. And, you could probably trade it to the guy that takes Gordon and get a decent player out of him, too, if you wanted to go that route. But I love the idea of going with Ekeler at this point. Oh, Robbie Anderson is gone. That is not surprising. Let's see. Who else is available on this round that might be interesting? Curtis Samuel is someone who I'm very interested in. A.J. Green, Corey Davis, D.D. Westbrook, Will Fuller. Not really interested in those guys right now. He got some injury issues, stuff like that. But Curtis, let's put him on the queue. And then as far as running backs go, besides Ekeler, there's Henderson. Let's put Henderson on there too. So we'll do Henderson and we'll do Samuel. We'll get them on the queue. All right. So there's Samuel, and let's see here, Curtis Samuel, and then for running backs, Darrell Henderson. There's Henderson right there. Okay. So we got some options, but again, Ekeler is my top choice for this round. I'm trying to get him in every single draft I have right now. To be able to get a startable running back asset this late in the draft, almost unprecedented. The values on the running backs are just garbage at this point. So he is a great option. And it looks like Ryan's taking his full time. Okay, Ekeler's still there. Boom, he is on the team. So let's move on to the 8th round here. 8th round, we're going Sterling Shepard, Sammy Watkins, Austin Hooper being recommended. We already have our tight end, so we don't need to draft a second tight end. Shepard and Watkins, great options at this point. Sterling Shepard, value rank 63. We're at pick 93. Okay, 30 points of value. Sammy Watkins, value rank 51. That's almost 40 points of value on him over our draft position. And the big issue, obviously, with Watkins is his injury risk. But as long as he's starting, the dude is a wide receiver 2 at a minimum on that offense. So those guys are both fantastic choices. Let's look at some of the other options here. So let's look at running back. And again, and here's a guy that we could consider, Darius Geis. He did play last night, looked very good, value rank of 50. So this is a guy, again, not getting heavily drafted because of the injury concerns, but he certainly offers a tremendous opportunity. And in the 8th round, absolutely worth the pick. I am not recommending him at this point, but darn, I mean, you can't ignore that value. You cannot ignore over 40 points of value on the draft board. So let's get those guys queued up. I'm just going to pause the video. We'll come back when it's my pick. All right, so we're back. So it looks like that Geis did get selected early. I'm guessing that he is starting to rise up the draft board again now that he did so well last night. So unfortunately, he's not available. But look, Curtis Samuel from the prior round still available. There's Shepard. There's Watkins. All these guys are great. Now, Curtis Samuel's value, since he's from the prior round, let's look at him. Wide receivers, value rank 85. So he is not nearly as good a value as these other two guys. I definitely think that Shepard is the best choice of these three just for his reliability and the fact that he has produced when OBJ has not been on the Giants. And so now he's basically the de facto lead wide receiver on that team. So there is lots of upside there. So let's go ahead and take Shepard. And let's move on to the 9th round. 9th round, we've got Larry Fitz. Sammy Watkins might make it to us. That'd be great. Jared Goff. Now we haven't taken a quarterback yet, so we still need to fill that position. Goff is a great option. I have him ranked as a top 6 quarterback, and this is a great time to get a quarterback in this kind of draft. We could wait a little later if we want, but Goff I'm good with. So let's get Fitz and Goff definitely on the board. Let's see who else. Jordan Howard. Again, look at the value. 151. That's his value rank. And we're at pick 100. Forget it. Don't do it. Don't draft these kind of players. They are terrible, terrible players. So I'll just go ahead. I'm going to pause the video. I'll cue those guys up. We'll come back. We'll see who we get. All right, so it's almost back to us. Goff is gone. Look, Cam Newton is dropping from that ankle injury he suffered. I think we can wait another round for a quarterback. If we go to the next round quarterbacks in the 10th round, we got Dak Prescott, Ben Roethlisberger, Jameis Winston, Phil Rivers, Josh Allen. You know, we could take Lamar Jackson at this point too. He actually should have already been gone, so it's nice that he is still available. Not really interested in Drew Brees. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to wait. Let's take Watkins. I mean, come on, man. Top 50 value at pick 100. Unbelievable. Let's get that value. And now on the next round, we will determine who we can get for quarterbacks. Let's just queue these guys up. I'll queue up Lamar. I'll queue up, let's see, Dak's a good choice. Rivers is a good choice. Of these guys that are here, I think I like those three the best. Garoppolo, no. Trubisky, no. And these guys are more later round players. So if we miss on all three of these, we can still grab someone later. But I think that's a good choice for the next round. Let's jump to the, where are we? Are we in the 10th round or the 9th round? We're heading into round 10. Okay, yes. In the 10th round, who is it recommending? Well, not a lot of recommendations this round. Devin Singletary, certainly a high upside running back that has potential. He appears to be third in line right now, but he's behind 2 geriatric running backs. So the opportunity is there, and he has been performing in the preseason. So I think he's a good choice. Why don't we get him up on the queue? And let's see here. Singletary. Oh, is he gone already? Holy cow. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're looking at just quarterbacks. Go back to all players. That trips me up. Singletary is still there. Okay, so we got him on the queue. And you can see this is what happens, man. After round 10, man, does this board thin out. Look at the outlook on these players. It's just a bunch of 1- and 2-star guys. You got the New England Patriots defense, and you've got Devin Singletary, only players that have 3 or more stars. And that's sort of the trigger for my recommendation list. These other guys, man, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Jones, there's Dak and Ben, Matt Breida, terrible value players. I mean, Marvin Jones has some good value, but, I'm not ready to recommend him yet. He's coming off a major injury. Devin Funchess, Kiki Kuti, Geronimo Allison, none of these guys have really good outlooks, no good values here. And what I like to say is, you want to try to get as many top 100 value players as you can. And really, actually, top 50 is best. You want as many top 50s as you can. But top 100s, because once you get past 100, those guys are not startable. So what you should primarily be looking at that point after pick 100 is guys that have a good potential to move up, to become the guy. It may mean that they play behind a low reliability player, or they're getting a lot of buzz right now, or they're leapfrogging other people on the depth chart. That's what we're going to focus on here at the end of the draft. So what I'm going to do, let's just pause the video. Oh, it's almost back to us anyway. I'll just pause. We'll come back when it's our pick, and we'll take our guy. All right, we're back. So it looks like Lamar Jackson did get taken. That's not surprising. Our options are Dak Prescott or Phil Rivers. I do prefer Rivers, but Prescott's not a bad choice. Really great early season schedule. The Giants at Washington, back home against the Dolphins. He's going to be fine. But I'm going to be safe here. I'm going to take Phil Rivers. He's a consummate QB1. He's a great option here. Let's go to the 11th round, and who is it recommending? So the 11th round, we got Justice Hill, Darwin Thompson, Phillip Rivers. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. High upside players. Both these guys qualify. Darwin is kind of my top choice right now at this point in the draft. But Darwin and Justice are both fantastic options. Let's get them both queued up because they are buried. They are buried on the draft board right now, but they are getting snapped up earlier and earlier as the buzz around these guys accelerates. And I got to tell you, Darwin Thompson, good chance that he is going to take the starting job away from Damian Williams. And if he does, that guy's an RB1 every week on the best offense in the NFL. You want a piece of that, and he's going to be good. So that's what we're talking about with high upside players that have a good opportunity to move to the top of the depth chart and become fantasy relevant. So Darwin Thompson right now doesn't offer great value. Like on my app, actually it's decent. 103. It's good. He's going to have a role, but to really become fantasy relevant, he needs to move ahead of Damian Williams. I think he has a great opportunity to do so. He is absolutely my choice here in the 11th round. Justice Hill, also fantastic option. Alvin Kamara skill set, playing on a run-first offense. The Ravens are going to be a really fun offense to watch this year. So I really, really like his upside as well. So let's jump to the 12th round now. So in the 12th round, here's what we're looking at. Kirk Cousins, Tony Pollard, Jalen Samuels. Now, okay, so Kirk Cousins, we don't need a quarterback. We already got our quarterback, but I think he's a great choice too, frankly. And this is why you can wait on quarterbacks. Tony Pollard, back up to Zeke Elliott. As long as Zeke sits, Tony Pollard's at least an RB2, and that could go into the season. I think it's going to get resolved before then, but Tony Pollard is absolutely a startable asset at the start of the season. Jalen Samuels, a great high upside running back who I like very much. Connor goes down. Jalen Samuels is an RB1. These are the kind of players you need to look for at this point in the draft. And I believe this would be our 6th running back, right? We've got a really nice deep core of running backs right now. Running back. Yeah, so this would be like the last running back we can take. So I like the idea of going with either Pollard or Samuels. I'm going to take Samuels just because I believe it's a better option. But certainly, if you took Zeke, you absolutely want to take Pollard. You absolutely have to get him. So I'm going to put him on the queue. And who knows, Justice might make it back to us as well. Probably a good chance that Justice will make. I'm just going to pause. We'll come back when it's our pick. All right, so it's almost back to our pick. You can see Dak Prescott still on the board. Devin Singletary still on the board. Justice Hill still on the board. So I will take Justice if he makes it back to us. Samuels, who knows? Maybe he'll fall to a later point. But actually, we're going to be taking our 6th running back, so we won't be able to take any more running backs after this point. And I love the idea of having Hill. Just so much upside on that offense. And let's go ahead. We will take him. Let's jump. So we got 2 more spots left on our bench. Let's see here. 1 more spot left on our bench. So we got to get ourselves a good wide receiver. So on the next round here, who do we have? Well, we got Sam Darnold, Damian Harris, the Dallas Cowboys defense. Those are all good choices, but what about wide receivers? Any decent wide receivers this round? Just Deshaun Hamilton and Golden Tate. Not really interested in those guys. When you can't find a player that you're interested in, and, I'm not interested in taking any tight ends right now, but there are a lot of second-tier tight ends available. Greg Olsen, Jordan Reed, Jimmy Graham, TJ Hawkinson, lots of good guys. Chris Herndon, good guys. We don't need any of them. We need a wide receiver. So let's just jump to the next round of wide receivers and see who's there. Okay, here's the guy I want, Tyrell Williams, my favorite late round wide receiver to get. Look at his value. He's inside the top 100. We're at pick 65. Tremendous amount of value out of this guy. So let's go ahead and put Tyrell on the queue. And don't forget, he is the number 2 receiver on the Raiders, playing opposite Antonio Brown, who will probably play. I'm going to assume that he is. Huge upside on this player. I think he's got Michael Crabtree circa a few years ago on that team. So go ahead and get Tyrell. So that's the whole draft. I will pause the video. I'm going to take the kicker and defense, and then we'll come back. We'll review this team. But holy crap, this team rocks. So I will be right back, and we'll see how it ends up. All right, so we're done. So I ended up with Buffalo as our defense, Georgio Taveccio, the Atlanta kicker, as our kicker. Both great options. Let's review this team. So quarterback, Phil Rivers. Consummate QB1, quality player, and we got him at a bargain price. We got him, in the 10th round, 11th round, something like that. Wide receivers, Mike Evans, Brandin Cooks, Sterling Shepard, Sammy Watkins, and Tyrell Williams. Fantastic wide receiver core. I got to say, that is so strong. Next up, running backs, Christian McCaffrey, David Montgomery, Phillip Lindsay, Austin Ekeler, Darwin Thompson, and Justice Hill. Again, awesome core of players that are all, my top 4 are all startable on any given week. And then we've got Darwin Thompson and Justice Hill available as high upside bench players. So that's exactly what we want sitting on our bench. The tight end, Jared Cook, quality choice. And that's it. Really, I got to say, fantastic team here. We've got a playoff caliber team right off the draft, and this will be a very competitive team come fantasy season. So there you have it. So I hope you realized how easy this was using my app. And my app is optimized for Yahoo drafts. It is fully optimized to maximize the effectiveness of the Yahoo draft and to find the best players before anyone else does. And that's the key to winning your draft. Finding those good value players, those high quality long shots that make it to your pick. So please go to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com. Try my app out. If you like it, you can subscribe. You can unlock all the features, all the different point schedules, and all the player lists. It will absolutely make a difference for you on draft day. You are going to be so happy when you use this. You're going to love your team. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe below. And everybody, happy draft weekend to you. We'll see you again soon.